Root software.
Welcome everybody to my development server, where I'm currently in the ice period because I'm here with the Streamer GUI. There are a lot of things changed the last few updates due to the fact that some people did a lot of suggestions and I implemented a lot of them. And there are also a few that I just do not want to implement. Especially the translation thing. Since this is an English plugin for an English platform, I do not see the need to translate, make it translatable. Mostly because why stream to Twitch if something is not English at all, but is like a language that do not understand English. English is the general language all over the world, and to be honest, I think that's more than enough for this plugin. If there are spelling mistakes, of course you can always report them so they can get adjusted as well. Let's go over a few of the latest changes. First of all, the tab complete. I can now use tab complete, and you can see these all currently because I have survival drops enabled. That's also a new feature. I have the Twitch link apply enabled, and I have the control GUI and such. I have the permissions for admins, and I'm marked as streamer in-game. The first biggest changes are the GUI for streamers. There are a little bit more icons now. First of all, you can see your toggles. So first of all, this icon, for example, is brand new. It's a force field feature. I will show it in a few moments. The streamer drops I turned to false, so it means that it's off. I can turn it on. As you can see, the GUI adjusts directly when I click it. I can broadcast my channel. However, if I want to do it again, it prevents me now. This was fixed in the last version when I'm currently recording at. It's not released yet, but it will release later today. As you can see here, I found out that the heartbeat, basically a timer that runs within the plugin, that runs one time every X amount of seconds, that's configurable in the config to update everything, wasn't listening to that. It was literally triggering every tick on the server, and that caused a huge load of spamming in console if debug mode was enabled, beside the fact that it caused a lot of pressure on the server, which wasn't even needed. So I fixed that. I, by mistaken, put two lines on two different spots, even though it wasn't the correct way in order to go. So instead of setting the time before, I set the time after it was already started, the timer. So that was a mistake on my behalf. I fixed it already, so that's a thing. The error messages for the broadcast caused a MP, a no pointer. Last time I fixed that one. I found out that I made a typo in the coloring, so that was causing the error in the first place. Then you have these ones. This is per event alerts. Basically you can turn them on or off for each of them, and I will go over them. If you want to have notifications in game of people giving bits to you, that's the way of doing things. Chat input from the chat from Twitch. The follower alerts, donation alerts, subscriber alerts, cheers, rates, hype trains, and the live announcements. If you toggle this one to false, nobody will see that you went online on the server automatically. You can turn it off, and it will only announce it once and do not repeatedly announce you. However, if you turn it to true, it will repeatedly announce you every heartbeat on the server that you're alive. So those can be toggled. This is only for the streamer itself. The global toggles are in the configuration file. If one of those global toggles is off, the icon here is non-functional. They can set it for themselves, but nothing happens. And if it's true, then this will be followed for this streamer. In this case, it's me, what we are talking about. However, if, for example, Fred also opens the GUI as a streamer, he has his own toggles for these ones. So if he toggles subscribers off, it stays on with me because I haven't enabled as true. They are separately. The streamer drops has a new feature. The survival streamer drops, like I promised all the way back at the start. Basically it works like you fill your inventory with items and you execute a special command and it will take the items from your inventory and put them on a stream drop list. Once it does that, basically every viewer that is watching your stream, and if you have this one on true, will get one random drop from the items you put in. And when the item is dropped, it will be removed from your list, basically. Keep in mind, it works with stack sizes. So if you, for example, put 16 buckets in one slot, then it will drop 16 buckets at once in one player's location. It just depends. Keep in mind, you need a lot of dropping items in order to get these drops. So basically, if you are putting things in like in survival and you put like, for example, 10 apples in 10 slots, like 10 stacks to be dropped, and you have like 16 players watching, then 6 players will not get a drop at all. The problem here is mostly because they are survival based, and because it's survival based, it basically tries to do the things good. So if you want to do it for as much players as you want, I recommend making stacks that you like and just keep adding those stacks using a chest, for example. Pick some items out, spread them out on your inventory, do the command, do it again and again and again, depending on how much items you want to put in for drop. You can always list what you have with also a command. Both are as GUI. List streamer drops to list all the drops you have, and add streamer drops to add your entire inventory to the streamer drop list. I'm not gonna do it now because I found a fault before I started recording that I'm gonna fix before. I'm releasing the plugin. However, the most biggest feature that I did fully test out is the force field. This is a major thing and can be heavy on your server. Keep in mind that if you run a server with this plugin enabled and you have the force field enabled, make sure you do not have too much streamers at the same time. If you have more than a certain amount of streamers, depending on the strength of your server, it starts lagging. And the most important thing why it starts lagging, I will explain directly. I clicked it true. Particles are circling around me, as you can see here. They will move with me. But what this ring does, it's based on a radius of 3. So it means that 3 blocks from me, this is also the radius that people get pushback from. So if people go to me and enter this circle, they will get launched back to where they came from. So they cannot come too close. This way, if I do F5, I can see myself even though, for example, the entire population goes around me and try to prevent me from recording or anything like it. It's a very nice feature. However, it's heavy because it measures every movement I make. That's why I made it a little bit slower at generating the circle. So if I move, you can see that sometimes the circle gets cut off a little bit and moves separately, like the radius isn't right. This is because it updates every half a second instead of every tick. I can do it every tick and it looks way smoother. However, if I do that, it will load up the server like 20 times more than it currently does. I try to optimize it as much as I can to prevent it. Because for every streamer that has it enabled, it will try to do this. And every player that walks on your server is basically being checked. So if you have like 50 people on the server, they all get checked if they are near a streamer or not. If they are near a streamer, they get pushed back. If they aren't, they get not pushed back. And this is exactly why I say it can be very heavy. It was a requested feature for like 4 times now, and the last one was from AZ Fire. It's a nice guy, by the way. He made a lot of suggestions. And I'm happy with that. So thank you once again, AZ Fire. Basically this wall is always showing particles if it's enabled, just to make it more nicely and need that you can see that you have the force field enabled. You can also disable it again and it doesn't happen again. However, it is just painful, to say the least. It's painful if you have this thing on and like 20 streamers are online and like 400 other players are online. I will for sure say that your server is gonna get more load due to the fact that it runs every half a second, that it checks every player's distance to the streamer itself. So I try to optimize it as much as I can. However, keep in mind that if the players are too much and it gets too much lag, just turn it off. Do not use it if it's lagging too much. I cannot optimize it more than I currently done, just because it's a feature where people get pushed from a moving location, not a solid, a moving location. Because I'm moving. I as player am moving. And I'm a streamer right now. And this is my radius that I'm moving around. So every time the system, every block I move, every view I make, like if I rotate now with my view, it's also triggering the event. Basically every movement I make is triggering the event where it loops through all streamers that have the force field enabled and then loops through all players, see if something is near it, basically. So I try to get it down as much as I can, however I just can't fix it's better than it currently does. So it is awesome, it works flawlessly. I do not have any lag right now. I never have lag with this system right now because I made it very optimized. However, if something is wrong and it causes lag, just turn it off in the configuration file. I cannot do much about it. However, the particle colors, I really like them. I first made one with the happy particles, but I think that this is way better. It's more like Streamer GUI, if you ask me. Good. More notes. If you join the server and have the survival streaming drops enabled and you have no more in the list, then it will warn you in the chat that your streaming drops are empty, basically. And nobody will get streamer drops when you're live. Same thing if you have streamer drops on your list. And then it will show the count how much you have on join. So if you join the server and have it enabled, it will show you have so many items left until the list is empty. Very handy to get notified before you started streaming. So that's the thing worth mentioning. What I also fixed are some configuration options. For example, all icons in the Streamer GUI for the control box, this one, is all changeable. People can change the skin as server owner for these icons. Excuse me. Then you have the coloring. I exchanged the coloring, so if you do SGUI Manager, these icons in the styler will not come back. It's removed currently. I might edit it back in later on. However, currently the coloring is all done in the configuration because we are now talking about hex coloring and not the normal Minecraft coloring. So making a GUI show icons with the color is impossible now because not every color is in Minecraft. So that's annoying, isn't it? However, you can now use hex codes. So in this case, these colors that I'm currently using, for example, this type of blue and this type of red, and these colors for the announcement are all not in the game by itself. It's just hex coloring, like really hex coloring, HTML color code. So they are working now as well. And finally, let me see, the apply feature. I can do it, but outer ranks is disabled at this moment. Outer ranks is basically a feature where when somebody links its Twitch account using a Twitch link, and then their Twitch nickname. Basically, it directly tries to write it down, and when they use the apply command, it will check how much followers they have. For example, if they have like 500 followers, for example, and you set the goal on 1000, then it will warn them that they need still another 500 in order to get a rank, and it will get you can set multiple ranks for different amounts of followers that somebody has. Keep in mind, this is a heavy module, so if you enable it and people use the apply, it will poll basically the database if it's already in there for the last few moments. If not, it will poll the bot itself, and the bot itself will communicate with Twitch to get the follower count for the user. There's also another side note here. I have no way currently to verify if the account they enter is really their account. So the things that I build in is, for example, no duplicate names, and I recommend people that using the auto rank feature to make a rank that needs to be validated by an admin. So they will get a rank that's like pending, for example, and then the admin can see that it's pending, and they need to verify if it's really their account. Because otherwise people can enter nicknames with from Twitch streamers that are not they, but have a lot of followers just to get the rank on the server. And that's what I warned about before the suggestion was even made, since I cannot enter a private information from a profile, so verificating isn't easy. I try to find a way to get something that's unique for every user that only the user knows about, but it's very hard. Not everybody has a Twitch account and does streaming, so looking at stream information is impossible because they are not streaming. So then they cannot even link their Twitch account. So I need to find something that's on their profile that I can use for it, and I'm still trying to figure out what to verify it more safely. There's also another side note. I found out that multiple people that are using my plugins are making a single mistake, and that's to basically, when adding a streamer using the GUI, when you add a streamer, it asks you for the Minecraft nickname and then a hashtag and then a streamer nickname. But many people are doing their Minecraft nick, hashtag mine nick. Ouch. If the Twitch channel name is exactly the same as your Minecraft name, then it's working. However, many people are doing this, and it's not how it's supposed to do. You're using a nickname from Twitch. In my case, it's MCG, the same as my nickname. However, if I have in Minecraft, for example, MCG and my Twitch account is MCG1, then I need to enter MCG1 as the second name in the line. Sadly, it's just annoying. People are making this mistake a lot, and I keep on reporting to people, read what it says, but some people have the GUI skill are very, very large. While when this basically skips the one on the right side. I cannot make this text smaller. I tried to implement it, however it didn't implement it. So I'm trying to find a way to make it easier to understand, but I made a docs page with all the instructions in it. So I still don't understand why it's not clear enough. So if somebody has any advice on this one and say why it isn't easy to understand, let me just know so I can take a look at it. I do not like it when people are basically thinking that something is broken when it isn't. There's also another note that I need to make here. Many people are editing the configuration file and editing the streamer files manually. First off, configuration file only edited if the server is offline. Secondly, if you edit any other file than the configuration file, then you're basically screwing the system up. It's possible to edit the streamer files. However, if you do, It can cause issues. One typo and you get a lot of errors in your system. If you change the hex code, make sure the hex code is in the same format as it was before. Some people changed it, the hex code, and DM'd me with the message, it doesn't work, it caused no pointer exceptions, and then when I started looking at it, it wasn't the hex code anymore. They forgot to add the hash, or it was a number short. That's causing issues, I can tell you that one. There are some nice, neat websites where you can just pick the color that you like, and you get the hash code incomplete to copy over. So please use those websites for sure. So if you edit the main configuration file, make sure to only do it if the server is offline. If you do it when it's live, features are not being saved and the config file is overridden when you shut down the server, so you're lost the changes you made. That's not very nice to do. Many people also keep on asking me how to get the client ID and secret. Those are both on the Twitch API website, api.twitch. And the OAuth URL is on Stream Apps. You can find it by Googling the Stream Apps website, or better to say, if you Google generate Twitch OAuth, then you will get the first link that points to the app, to the generator that generates those tokens. For the client ID and secret, you need to make an application on the Twitch API website. If it asks for a return URL, you can just enter http://localhost, since it's not used. So if you do localhost, then it will return to itself when you make a call using the plugin. This will allow you to get past the creation screen. The category is always chatbot in this case, or server bot, if you want to call it, but most of the time it's a chatbot, basically, because we need to connect to the chat functionality to gain access to the events. And I think that's everything that I have to say. There are a lot of bug fixes along the way. If something is broken, be sure to report it on my Discord server. The Discord server link can be found on basically every plugin page of mine. And otherwise, you can always visit my channel, and there is also a button that links to the Discord. Yeah, final note, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the suggestion sections on my Discord as well, so I can take a look. I'm most of the time reporting and answering within 24 hours of a message. However, I cannot promise anything because I'm a busy man. And that's it. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next one, and hopefully you like this plugin as much as I do. And if you do, leave a like on the video, leave a review if you purchased and used it and like it as well. So thank you all for watching. See you all in the next one. Good luck!